Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about some tips for success on Instagram. I'm by no means professional, but in about a year and a half, I'm pushing 13,000 followers. So I just kind of wanted to share like what I did and some ideas that might help you if you're new to the Instagram journey.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
So first up, you're gonna want to pick a niche. Something semi-specific. Obviously mine is like gaming and tech. This could be all kinds of things, whatever obviously fits best for you. And after you decide what niche you want your account to be in, make sure that you set your profile so that it's not private. You don't want people to have to request to be able to see your page, or else half the people are just going to skip right over it. While setting up your profile, you're going to want to describe your role beyond just putting your name, like Phaser Oneist, for example. You're going to want to put what you do, what your niche is, why people want to follow you, that kind of thing. So mine says something along the lines of PC inspiration and tech enthusiast, something like that. And the reason for that is Instagram actually uses an SEO, search engine optimization, much like Google or something like that when you search.
Wow.
So that will bring more people to your page while searching for other things that are in your niche. That's one way. Also, I would recommend using something like Linktree or Flowpage or one of the 8 billion other ones where it's one link you can post on your profile. But then when they click that, it has all your links, whether that be Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, any pages that apply to what you're trying to do, you're going to want to list there. And once you have your profile set up and you've picked a niche, you're going to want to post quite a bit. Ideally, at least 5 times a week. If you start to post multiple times a day, you're kind of competing with yourself in a way. So I would recommend once a day, 5 to 7 times a week. You can also set your profile to a professional profile or a business profile, which I would highly recommend doing, because when you do that, it gives you insights into both what time is best to post. You have a lot more ways to see what's working and what isn't. So you can kind of adjust what you're doing on the fly. This X post did really good, this post did really bad, let's do more like this one, that kind of thing. And as far as your posting, engagement is going to be a huge plus because it bumps you up the algorithm when people engage with your content. They engage with it, they answer a question, they say, hey, that looks awesome, whatever that may be. Every time someone does that, it bumps you up the Instagram algorithm a little bit more. And beyond that, you can get engagement by simply asking a question in the beginning of your post, something like, what's your favorite kind of sandwich? I actually used that one time and it was some of the most engagement I've got on a post. So definitely think about asking a question at the very top. So that's the first thing people see, because people love to answer questions. It's ingrained in us. So it doesn't even have to necessarily apply to your content. If you're just doing pictures or something like that, just ask a question. Post a question in the very beginning, and more than likely you'll get people answering it, and that automatically bumps you up the algorithm. Beyond that, Reels right now is what Instagram is really pushing, because they're trying to compete with TikTok. Essentially, they see TikTok as their biggest competition. TikTok sees YouTube as its biggest competition. So that's why they're really pushing Reels. They're updating a lot of things right now. And when they do update things and change the algorithm and add new features and stuff like that, your reach will drop considerably. It happens all the time. So if you are doing really good and all of a sudden the next day your post does trash, don't worry about it. It's just part of the process, unfortunately.
Well, why don't you cry about it?
So like I said, post Reels. Me personally, I much prefer photos, but unfortunately you gotta post Reels regardless, because that's what's gonna get you seen. So if you're focused more on photos, maybe try something like 2 or 3 Reels a week, and then the rest photos. You could even post a reel and a photo in the morning, but those are going to kind of compete with each other's views. Reels are king right now because they're trying to compete with TikTok, so I would highly recommend doing at least 2 or 3 a week at a minimum, I would say, because they kind of prioritize Reels over a lot of other things. Don't use videos on multiple platforms. For example, if you have a TikTok that does well, don't take one of the watermarked TikTok videos and post it on Instagram. The reason for this being is that Instagram can recognize that watermark, and they will nerf all of your reach and that sort of thing because it's a video from a competing brand, essentially. TikTok is their big competitor, so of course they don't want videos that have TikTok flashing all around. So if you're going to use the same video on two platforms, upload it 2 different times. Don't save it from TikTok and upload it to Instagram, because that's already putting you further behind. One other thing I would recommend doing is following the Instagram's creators account. Not all of it is relevant, but it'll help you stay up to date on new changes in the algorithm, new features they're implementing, stuff like that. And with Instagram, when you use the new features, or whether it be trending audio or original audio or whatever they're pushing at the time, you get a little boost in the algorithm. They'll bump you up because you're using the most recent updates, new features, kind of stuff like that. They prioritize that kind of thing. So by doing that, you can get a little bump in both your reach, your engagement, and that kind of stuff, which pushes you to more people, which obviously is a good thing. You're going to want to use your stories. Those can kind of be like an introspective, more into your life, what you're doing on a daily basis that you wouldn't necessarily post about. Hey, I'm going to the fair today. Hey, I'm going, whatever that may be. People like to see what's going on in your life beyond just the usual stuff you post. And you can also use those if you want to vent. Some of the most engagement I get from any stories, same with my wife, is when we're bitching about something or putting someone on blast or any kind of light drama. I wouldn't go too crazy with it, but people love that shit.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Beyond that, let's talk quickly about hashtags. Me personally, I don't know if this is still relevant, but when I started, you should generally post between 20 and 30, which sounds like a ton. You're going to want to use the first 5 or so to be directly specific to whatever you're posting. So if you're posting something about speakers, you're going to use audio file, stuff like that. And then the others fit more into just your general niche. For me, that would be like PC gaming, gaming setups, etc., stuff like that. And regarding the hashtags, you don't want to use the top hashtags, meaning the top hashtags that have 34 million uses. You'll never be seen unless you have a huge account that gets really good responses. If you're using something like that, you're going to be instantly buried in the explore page. So you want to shoot somewhere between, I would say, 300,000 to 1 million uses would probably be the best hashtags to use, as long as they're pertinent to your specific niche and what you're doing. You can mix them up. You can use some that only have 5,000. You can use some that have 2 million, but you want to try and stay in like the 300,000 to 1 million range, and then maybe pepper in some smaller ones and some bigger ones. That's what I've done. In the 1.5 years I've been going, I'm pushing 13,000 accounts, so it's worked pretty well for me so far. It doesn't happen all at once though. A big part of Instagram success is patience, dedication, and just sticking to it. Because a lot of times it sucks. It's a lot of work. I spend probably 6 to 8 hours every weekend shooting content, editing videos, editing pictures, scheduling posts, doing all that kind of stuff. But it is pretty rewarding once it starts picking up. And it is possible once you hit 1,000, 2,000 followers to be able to start getting collaboration offers, whether that's a paid collaboration or a barter collaboration, which means they're sending you a product for free to post about it, essentially, which is pretty cool. I've gotten quite a few things like that. And you can really start to get those around 1,000 or 2,000, if not earlier. As long as your content's gaining traction, people take notice of that and they'll want to work with you. Beyond that, if you got any other questions, let me know in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace out.